Well, hey folks, welcome to another episode of Ascend the Mountain. I'm Aaron.
And I'm Steve. We are two normal guys having an authentic, lighthearted conversation about our relation with God and life. So, how did this beautiful mess come to be?
Yes, that's what we're talking about today. We just want to let you guys know and share with you our story of how Steve and I met, because I have no other story like this in my entire life. It's really humorous. So I'll rewind to almost 2 years ago. I was at our local church preaching a message, and I got off stage, and this guy comes up to me, and this is about how the interaction went. Hey, that was a really good message.
I do think you guys kind of...
I wanted to know if you wanted to go hiking with me sometime.
You guys over-dramatize.
Well, let's just be real, it was basically that. So I have this random low-energy guy walk up to me that I've never met before in my life, ask me if he could take me out into the woods alone and go hike with him the next free moment I have. And I said, oh, well, let's talk a little bit. Tell me about yourself. Da-da-da. You know, like we get to going and stuff. And I suggested, let's go get like dinner first. And then from there, maybe we can go on a hike. So that's my perspective of like that very first moment. Is that how you see it, Steve? Or is it a little bit different?
No, I seemed a little bit more happy. No, actually, at that time, I was in a pretty dark place, dark moment. Call it depression, call it whatever you want. And I just felt the Holy Spirit say, hey, go talk to that guy. He likes to hike. You like to hike. You need someone to talk to. And we've had zero interaction before that moment.
Right. Not even like shaking of hands, nothing like nothing.
So I'm not going to lie. I went to my 16-year-old daughter.
That's right. She introduced me. Yeah.
I go, hey, can you introduce me to this guy? I was like so nervous. I was like, what do I say? Because I felt creepy myself.
Right.
Going, God.
And his daughter and I knew each other through some ministry stuff that we've been doing.
Yeah, so I was just like, and so my daughter's just like, okay, you can't go. Get your big boy pants
That was
off.
definitely part of it. Now that you're re-jogging my memory, that was definitely part of it. Of like, why is she introducing her dad to me? Isn't this grown man? Can he just like come up and talk to me? Like, this is weird.
No, so I had to get my big boy pants off, and I think she did introduce us.
Yeah, I think she did. Yeah.
And I said, hey, you like to hike? I like to hike. Let's do this thing. I really didn't know what to say. Didn't come very prepared.
Yeah, I could tell.
I definitely wasn't smiling or laughing.
Right.
But I definitely had my Eeyore, woe is me moment. But then we ended up going out to Buffalo Wild Wings.
Yep.
And there's nothing. I love Buffalo Wild Wings a lot. So
well, and we ended up spending like 2 hours there. Again, I have no idea. Like going into, and I don't know if you've ever done this, where you've gone into a conversation with somebody and you don't really know what to expect. You're like, this person might be awesome, or this person might be kind of a weirdo.
You look for the exit routes.
Yeah, you're like, okay, can I have someone like call me in 30 minutes to like get me out of this? Like, you know, like you don't know what you're gonna get. You know, when you sit down with somebody like that, particularly that asks you to go on a hike randomly and you've never been before. So I didn't know what to expect.
I got to ask you a question. Did you look me up online to see?
I did not actually.
Who is this guy?
No. I didn't. But
glad you should now.
Yeah, I know. But we ended up spending like 2 hours there, like just hanging out, talking, getting to really. It took a little bit for both of our walls to come down, you know, but once we realized that, like, wow, this person is really authentic and actually cares. I think that was a big thing for you, and I know it was for me too. And like, this guy is being real. He's not just looking to get something out of me. He's just looking for like friendship. He's looking for connection. And you know what I had shared the week before had really ministered to you. And so then my walls kind of.
Hey, you got to stop there.
What's that?
Remember. Do you remember this part?
Well, I do remember. I throw you under the bus. You know, that's your story.
Might as well talk about it.
Go ahead.
He almost ruined my marriage.
Based off of what I shared from the pulpit that week.
Yes, I was in a very dark moment.
When you say moment, like what are we talking about? Like a week, or are we talking about months?
A few years.
Years, okay.
Yeah, I was just, those times in your life you're like, I don't even know if I want to get up.
Right.
It's not that I wanted to kill myself or anything.
Yeah.
I just didn't want to live.
Yeah.
I lost all purpose, all meaning. I didn't really, and we'll get into it later on, and I'm not going to go into details this second. But meeting you, I didn't want to go to church, and I think you preached a message. I even forgot what you said.
I don't really remember.
So obviously it was very memorable.
Both of our ends.
But it was something that triggered something in me.
Yeah.
And we're driving home. We had a 30-minute drive from church.
You and your family.
Yes, and my wife, I put some cuss words, and I was not happy with whatever you said.
Mm-hmm.
And my wife looked at me. She is, I love this woman, but she does not take my crap. And she said some words and said, hey, you either need to get it together or go somewhere. Do something. I need you to get your life together. I can't take this anymore. Stop with your pity parties. God doesn't hate you. You just need to stop it. I mean, she's yelling at me as I'm driving. So she did that very early on in our drive.
Mm-hmm.
So I got another 20 minutes. Like kids are
And your
sitting
kids in the back like, what is happening? Because that's not normally how you and your wife
No,
interact
we do
at all.
not. That's probably the first time she's yelled at me.
Right. In how many years of marriage?
Well, 20 years,
Yeah.
and at least that I've seen
Can
to my
remember.
face.
Right.
Who knows what she said
Right,
behind the scenes. But she was done with me having
Yeah.
my pity parties, and that's how that's a backstory
Right.
of how we really, I needed to get together and
Yeah.
do something, and
Yeah.
God really highlighted you. And I think that's important when we did go out to eat. If you've never been in that position, or if you ever get in that position, it's learning just to share each other's story.
Yeah.
Let the other say, hey, tell me your story.
And being vulnerable.
Yes.
Because I could tell that you were being vulnerable, and then that allowed me to help be vulnerable as well and just be open and honest. Like, this is what's
Yes.
going on. It's not like, my life is great. How about you? You know, kind of thing.
I
Because
definitely didn't say it was great.
Right,
I was
right.
open.
Right.
A little
Right.
too open. And
Which is good. So after that, we really hit it off, and I was like, okay, man, hey, that hike thing I'm down for. Like,
I
let's give it a
earned
shot.
the hike.
Right. You earned the
he
the
was
hike.
not going to go missing.
Right. Right. And from there, and that's really the culmination of why we feel like the Ascend the Mountain is the heart behind this whole thing, is that is really where you and I built our friendship, and
Yes.
you have called so much out in me that, like, I know I'm a better man for having known you, and I won't speak for you on that side of it, but that it has helped me in so many of those moments where when you and I, because we hike a lot,
Yes.
we're out on the trail, you know, and we're just talking about life, we're just talking about this thing with the kids, or that thing with our spouses, or this with our work, you know, and whatever, and just sharing life and our experiences together. And this is what God, you know, showed me this one time. It might help you in that situation, and that's really the culmination of you and me starting at a trailhead and hiking up to a peak and checking out life and enjoying life and letting God speak to us, has built the friendship that we have now for almost 2 years.
And I think for me, what was healing is, even though that first time we went on a hike, I was a little like,
Apprehensive.
yeah, I was like, I walked behind you. I didn't really know what to say or do, or how much what else.
You're right.
But I felt like that's what God does. He uses relationships.
Mm-hmm.
And it just made me think of in Ecclesiastes, which when Solomon wrote this, he was in a pretty dark moment in his life. And
Yeah.
he says this, 2 people are better off than one,
Mhm.
for they can help each other succeed. If one person falls, the other can reach out and help. But someone who falls alone is in real trouble. And I was alone.
Yeah.
I reached out to you, and you pretty much, it's not like you lifted me up,
No, but
but
it's
just
just-
your
yeah.
words. You didn't say, you didn't baby me.
Right.
You weren't mean to me. You listened
Mm-hmm.
and really helped me digest. And you asked a lot of questions, which really helped me. And I love this part where it says, he says, 2 people are better off than one, for they can help each other succeed.
Mm-hmm.
And I love that, because you really helped me succeed to where I am now. My wife has a much healthier husband, and my kids have a much better father. And now, going through that stage, I now help other people get
and,
to
and,
that.
and even in the flip, that you have helped me in recent months, particularly just challenging me with certain things, asking me, you know, what are you doing? Where are you going? What does the future hold for you? That a lot of people don't ask me, you know, and in a way that gives me opportunity not only to think through things that maybe I wouldn't think of, because it's so easy, I don't know about you guys, but just to get like in the grind, you know, and you just kind of like, you turn around and it's been 6 months or it's been a year and you're like, what am I doing with my life, you know, kind of thing. And so I have grown so much even recently with that. So it's like, I know I helped you in the beginning, and you're helping me even now in some ways process this phase of my life and help me to succeed in this phase of my life.
And I really try to help you not get to that place where
Right.
I was.
Right.
But I want to look at this again. Like in verse 12 it says, a person standing alone can be attacked and defeated, but two can stand back to back and conquer.
Whoa, that's
I love it. And it says in Romans that we're more than conquerors, which is still baffling. That's a whole nother thing.
Right.
Like, it's more than conquerors. I just like to conquer something.
Right.
But I just sit there going, even for ourselves, I think this is the cliche of men's ministry. Iron sharpens iron. But I feel like no matter if you're male or female, it's important to find someone that you can be honest with, someone you can trust, but someone that also is going to help you conquer things, help you succeed. Because a lot of times we get in friendships and relationships, and it's almost like if you're both in a bad spot, you kind of stay in that pit, in that hole, and
you just reinforce what you already think or what you already feel instead of challenging.
It's almost like two people at a bar drinking, and they're like, "Oh, my life sucks."
Right.
And I think it's finding someone. If you get to that point in your life, that's where I was. Is to find someone, but also just having a Jonathan David relationship where like, and I think that's we're getting there. Like totally. we're pretty close. But I'd say we still are learning each other, still growing, but it's being honest. It's okay, and if someone cannot take your honesty, I don't know if they're the right person for you, and they should be challenging you to be ascending that mountain and not going further down into a valley. What do you think?
No, I totally agree. Not just like pulling off to the side.
Yeah.
So, cool, guys. Well, that is our life story so far together as friends.
And that's how the burrito was made.